It's the witching hour, and that means it's time for Agatha All Along. So, of course, I could not come without my own witchy accompaniment in the form of Mrs. Know-It-All. We're so excited to talk about this because, man, I tell you what, I'm refreshed to see a show that I'm actually looking forward to because these first 2 episodes have dropped, and we're going to get all into it, starting right now.
It was Agatha all along. But wait, there's more to this wicked song. Mr. Know-It-All's here to break it down with magic, mischief, and a spellbinding frown. So grab your broom, it's time for a spooky song as Mr. Know-It-All reviews Agatha All Along.
What's up, my know-it-alls? Oh, I am so excited. There's things to talk about.
Yay!
Don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Nerd Fights and what I do on the live shows. But right now, you guys know I thrive on these things.
Yes.
So we've been looking forward to this.
Once we heard that this was even a thought
Yeah.
in the MCU, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be amazing.
And it's funny, it has sort of a pseudo, troubled production only because there was a million and one names. It was Agatha and the Coven of Darkness, Agatha and the Return of Agatha, Son of Agatha. I don't know, whatever. All I know is and then it came out that it was part of a clever marketing thing. And you know what? I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt.
Sure.
I'm very much interested, and the show has been amazing. So, first 2 episodes dropped.
I know.
What were you thinking going in first before we get into
Okay, I was really nervous, and I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, man.
But the trailers, man.
So
I got so excited with the trailers, and I was nervous. Don't get me wrong, I was nervous. But if the trailers alluded to what I just saw in the first 2 episodes, the rest of, I think, this season, maybe, I don't know, series, I don't know where they're going with it, is going to happen. I'm just excited.
No, agreed. No, same. Everybody is doing such amazing work. So the MCU has obviously had a troubled recent past. So, and a lot of things going on and whatnot. Agatha harkens, no pun intended, back to the Wanda Vision era.
Absolutely. And I feel like we were seeing that era again.
And
yeah.
And by that, by era, I just mean right off the heels of Endgame and some other things. What you ended up with in WandaVision was, I thought, a really good bridge between what the movies were supposed to be in the MCU into what the series were supposed to be. So, and then everything kind of went off course somewhere. Yeah. This felt like the tone came right back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. So I'm not going to go blow by blow, but I want to talk about some highlights. Mm-hmm. First thing out the gate, the show starts with this very true crime-esque feel.
Yeah.
And they even call it out in the show. What did you think about that opening? Because you love procedurals.
I do. I'm like, it was something that you would see like on, one of Dick Wolf's many things, especially.
Yeah.
All of his Law and Order, something that would come out of it, absolutely. And then we jumped in knowing that, what was going on. Are we spoiling anything?
So I don't mind spoiling stuff, but my thing is I want to go as we go. I'm not necessarily looking to spoil. But it was fine.
Well, we realized that it was Wanda.
Right.
I didn't want to say that.
And they've kind of enlightening in the trailers, and they sort of that it's essentially now we don't. And the guy even says when they're walking, he's like, "Who is it? She got into an accident. She was crushed by something heavy." And as we all know, Wanda's crushed at the end of Multiverse of Madness by one of the giant statue things. The real twist to all of this becomes that when she's finally woken up, because and you've seen the trailers and whatnot, Joe Locke's character, who they just called Teen, shows up and he starts casting a spell.
What were you looking for in my house?
The respect of your peers and a fulfilling home life. But you were fresh out of both.
She arrested him and he starts casting a spell and he's like, "Why are you looking at the painting?" And then she thought it was the doorway mirror. All this stuff going on. And finally she wakes up with the help of Aubrey Plaza's Rio Vidal.
Good.
What?
And so she shows up and she's stark naked.
Yes.
And she's woken up, and the reality sets in. I think Wanda put her in that TV show-esque scenario.
Sure.
But only her. Because remember when she's...
That she would like have to grow with almost.
When she's in her birthday suit, she walks up to the neighbor and is like, what's going on? What happened? And he's like, we lived here for like 3 years, and you've always been kind of weird. You started going through this weird true crime phase, but you just like the way you... So we just kind of say, hey, whatever, just leave her be. And I thought that was so interesting. It's like, oh my God, Wanda stuck her in a TV show. I thought it was a neat take. And then when she's free, I want you to talk a little bit about what she put, what happens when she has to bring them all together. Like, what is that? What was that like? Having seen that, what did you?
Well, because there's so many different like types of witches. Is that what you're waiting for?
Yes. Well, because I know this is her thing.
I love this.
Right.
Nonsense. So,
we actually once had a TV show we were putting together with, which was going to be about witches in a more contemporary modern light. So this
was really cool when we saw them do this. Because there's different types of witches. There's one that are really good at divination.
Yeah.
They needed a green witch, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, totally.
Who they got for the green witch?
I know.
Because I got okay. We'll come back to that in a second. But there's several types of different witches, and that way I thought was pretty cool.
For sure.
So
I love Catherine Hahn's take on Agatha now, because when she first was revealed in Agatha All Along during WandaVision, she's very the villain, and she's very like in control. She wants to be that, but she's got no powers.
Right.
And so she's having to be nice to people she doesn't want to be nice to, and and you really get to see who is Agatha without the trappings, and she's actually very smart, which I think is very cool.
I think we're going to learn that she's really smart. So now I think it just makes her doubly dangerous.
Agreed. Well,
but I don't even know if she's dangerous yet. Like, you tell me she is. But
I feel like so in the comic books, Agatha, and that's one thing people had a problem with when they introduced her in WandaVision, was she didn't look anything like Agatha. That's Agatha in the comic books. Well, the one we're seeing, that's what she looks like. The only difference is in the comic book, she has white hair, but she wears a little pendant brooch. She's got the white blousey. She's got the jacket thing. And I'm sitting here going, this is a brilliant take on the character and getting her. I think we're going to see. I have a prediction that by the end of this thing, we're going to see her with white hair, and she's going to be fully this like realized actually
that'd be really
Agatha
cool.
again.
Yeah.
So, what do you think the over/under is that any of these other witches are getting out of this alive?
I think they all are.
Really?
They do.
Wow. Okay. So tell me.
For Anthony, right now, I'm only 2 in.
Sure.
Only 2 in, and I still think it's going to be very. My problem is I know that it's supposed to get scarier, because there were some really great like jump scenes. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
And it's creepy, but not like scary. It's definitely like creepy, but if it gets scarier, then they might die.
Yeah.
If they keep it, MCU not killing off all the witches. I don't know. I don't know what that means even. I don't know why I said it.
No, I love it.
But yeah, I think they might actually make it. And if not, it'll just be Agnes and Teen. Or Agatha and Teen. I keep calling her Agnes. Agatha and Teen.
What do you think the deal is with Teen? When he tries to say his name, there's like a weird thing that happens.
Who are you?
My name is...
Say again.
I'm...
Interesting.
When he starts giving his backstory,
Everything's a lie coming out of his mouth.
but somehow she's is like filtering out, like she's not, whatever's going on.
You think it's filtering?
I think somehow she's being told by magic some way he's not right.
Where are you from?
Me? I was born in...
That's why she's decided to keep him around. And it's like, something's wrong with it. So there's a lot of people online who think he might end up being one of Wanda's kids, like through somehow matured or whatever else. And there's other people who think he's a character in the comics called Coven, and which is a male witch type character who wears like a supervillain suit.
Okay, I can see speculation that isn't it an M that goes over his mouth?
It looks like a squiggle line, but it could totally be an M. It could totally be an M. Which would be like Maximoff, you mean?
Yeah.
I could totally see that.
I thought the first time it was a squiggle.
Yeah.
And the second time it was an M.
I could see that.
The only other thing I could think of was that it's literally just she doesn't because she just is all new to this all over again. She's trying to get some of it back, or she has part of it back, or some of the nuances of it back.
Right.
So her filtering out lies is just that being like deafening, instead of hearing the lie and knowing it's a lie. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
It could very well be.
What do you think about all the allusions to the Wizard of Oz? You have the road analogy. We have the just all these pieces that feel very Wizard of Oz-esque, which obviously Wizard of Oz had witches in it. So I could see them trying to make those tangential connections. If nothing else, just for us as fans to kind of go, oh yeah.
Well, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, well, as Dorothy was on the Yellow Brick Road, she did meet 3 characters.
All these characters. Yeah, no, that's a great point.
I can't point out. I thought it was stupid that they didn't look down for the door.
So let's talk about that. The song.
Darkest hour, wake thy power, earthly and divine.
Before they get to the door.
Awesome. I loved it.
So in the second episode, they do the coven has finally been put together. One very brilliantly, the way they did it, I thought it was really good. And they get together to sing the song. She hits the bell, the whole bit. But she's not alone. The Salem 7, which are like witch, bounty hunter, assassin people who are all on them, whether she's broken rules or whatever.
Yeah, they're
coming after her. And so they're singing this while Teen is upstairs closing the windows, trying to not fight him off literally, but like keep him at bay. And then, like you said, and at one point, Agatha's trying to piss off the other witches to get him to hit her.
Right.
Because she's
that she can absorb the power right now.
What is that?
Was that there before?
And then they, like you said, they look down and there's a door that wasn't there.
Is the one that looks down, which I want to talk about Miss Hart in a second. But like that, I thought, I'm like, seriously, ladies, you look down. You're standing over a pentagram anyway.
Yeah, no,
I thought it was silly.
That's the other thing too. I didn't realize until they showed the
the
end,
town
and the end credits.
Yeah,
the town of Westview is a giant pentagram in the, and I'm like, oh, how did I never notice that?
I didn't either.
I always thought because whenever in WandaVision it looked like a circle that she had created around the thing, but it might have been that shape, but I just didn't notice. But anyway, what is your speculation on what comes next? Because clearly by the end of this episode they got on the road.
Yeah, they're on the road.
She takes her shoes off, which I thought was interesting, and they all follow suit. And then she says that she's like,
I never doubted us for a second.
and you're like, man, Agatha's so dirty.
She's back. Mrs. Hart doesn't realize she's a witch.
You think?
Because I don't know if the door would open if she wasn't.
Okay, that's fair. Which is funny because Agatha sort of pulled her out of the air.
Yeah.
She's a gardener, she's whatever.
Because it was a heart on the page.
Right.
But see, it could have been what's her name as far as a black soul is concerned.
Well, and if you remember, a hot black heart.
A black heart. She's a black heart.
Aubrey Plaza's character, who again, she's credited as being Rio Vidal, but there's a lot of speculation online that she's Morgan Le Fay. And I don't know where I land one way or the other, but she's definitely a mortal enemy of Agatha. So yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes. I think that we're going to see much more of the as the road continues. I know they dropped a clip that we didn't see today. It wasn't in the first 2 episodes. There's a clip online, and it's a clip where they find themselves in a particular kind of parlor or place, and the Alion's character, Alice Wu Gulliver, I guess she is familiar with the place they're at, and then she's like, the legend says that the road will take the form based on us, like with the witches,
right?
How they have to deal with stuff.
Because then we did get the. I did say that we were talking to at the time when I said that might be the actual. That's how they perceive witches, or people perceive us as witches, or how people we know perceive. Because if it's a witch, then it would be the people around them that would perceive her. Right. So that's why we get the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
I'm assuming type. Which tells me that's probably Mrs. Hart.
I agree. So I think it's so funny. I do agree though. Man. All right. So I don't know. I feel like there's no, based on just what I've seen and what the trailers have shown, I have a feeling she's going to end up having to get to the end. Because remember, she's already been here once and survived. And what she got out of it was the power she had.
Right.
Which was super strong.
She's not going to be able to get it again, I bet.
Or maybe you feel like you can only do things once or whatever once or something.
To ask for something completely
could be
different.
It could be. I don't know. It's interesting. I can't wait to see. I have a feeling she's going to end up sacrificing the other or trying to, or something's happening with the rest of them. I don't believe the rest of them are like, I don't think this is becoming an ensemble. She's becoming a team player.
Look, that's why I don't think it's going to end in the way I want it. That's why I said I heard it's supposed to be.
No, I got it.
No, you're probably right. I just like to be the optimist.
No, I hear you. Comment below, guys. Let me know what you think. I would absolutely love to hear your speculation and fan thoughts. But there you go. Now you know. And if knowing's half the battle, you're halfway to being a know-it-all yourself. We're looking so much forward to reviewing these episodes week to week as they go. Baby Noah is watching it with us as well. I'll give you her rating when it comes time. But what is the Know-it-all Index rating for us today? We actually agree 100%. So what's the first one for episode 1?
8.
A solid 8.
Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road.
Okay. Now, episode 2, which, by the way, for some reason online, people didn't like. And
I think I know why.
Why?
There was a very large chunk of that song.
Sure.
And from what I understand, as of late, musicals aren't the thing.
No, the internet's worried about
I don't know.
I think when I saw one guy who was worried. He's like, "Oh, is this another hidden musical?" As in, like, people like somehow musicals are ashamed of being musicals.
Yeah,
I'm just like, stop it. Right? They'll let you know, like Wicked. Mm-hmm. Wicked, you knew exactly what was going on with Wicked. So anyway, all right. What is the second episode? Our second episode score is 8.5.
Down, down, down the road, down the witch's road.
Gonna go 8.5.
Yeah.
Why don't I go 8.5? Because my immediate knee-jerk instinct was to want to go 9 because I really I loved where it went, but we got to have some place to go. And I feel like she's right. I think because that was ultimately Mrs. Know-it-all's suggestion, and I agree with it.
Yeah.
I think that the first episode was really good. The next episode built on it and was just as good.
Yep.
And a little better. And so, yeah, comment below. Let us know what you thought because I would absolutely love to hear. I want to be discussing this more. I'm going to talk a little bit more about what all of this means in the coming days, and then we're probably going to. I may look up some Agatha Harkness stuff online and sort of, or some of the comic stuff, and just maybe get some information out there. Maybe do a know-it-all files or something. But anyway, guys, I am so happy to be back. I cannot wait to see you again next week. Also, don't forget, tomorrow night, Penguin drops the first 2 episodes. And I'll be reviewing. I will be reviewing Penguin as well, so it's gonna be good. I'm so excited we're back in new stuff territory.
I am too.
I know, for real. Okay, guys, I'll talk to you again next week. Never forget.
Everyone loves a know-it-all.
Bye, guys.
Bye.